Hey, hey. Oh man, see, this is gonna be hard. My bed is all messed up. I don't really like my blanket's not doing what I needed to do, so I can cover myself up. So we can try to at least stay just a little bit warm. This pillow needs to just move. Get that out of here. I guess we'll move this too. I've got like a lot of blankets and pillows and stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see if this is better. This is better. All right. Hey, Toasted. Hey, Ranger. So, first things first is that we're going to reply to some comments on stream because I keep forgetting, so I should do it now instead of later. Let's see, where did I stop? Okay, so here we go. You can always just add more things in. You don't have to stick to the same old thing over and over again, because even I add a little bit of diversity into things. So I replied to all the comments that I needed to. Now we're going to go to Pimp My Gun. So for those of you who haven't noticed, I've been working on like a kind of I've been working on an MP5K that's based off of the airsoft version that my sister had for her birthday that I kind of have now. It's doing pretty good. I'm looking at it right now. It's got a couple problems with it. The magazine doesn't have an over insertion tab in it, so when you go to shove it into the mag well, it goes up higher than what it should. The grip, it has two different connection points, one of which is Technic, and then the other one is like a new method that I came up with that it was pretty experimental, and it's not it's not working out too well, so I had to tape it, and the tape is pretty ugly, so I want to go ahead and see if I can't fix that as well. But other than that, it's pretty good looking. Hey, Jar Jar. Pimp My Gun is kind of like it's kind of like this. I don't know what you want to call it. It's basically you can click on this gun file here, and now you have a file that you can work with, and then you can kind of come in and change it up and add different parts and stuff like that to it. So I wanted to go ahead and grab this MP5K and change it up because I have this idea for an MP5K now. Grab all this and scale this up. We're going to scale this up to 200. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how this went together. It's I don't know what just happened there. Um, oops. It's all one part here. So let's just make this 250. Just make this slightly bigger. Let's not do that. Let's go back down to 200. Place this back in where it goes. Set the barrel on in. Unicorn Re 96. I suggested, hey mate. I've been kind of thinking about expanding out. I've got a few different things going on already though, that I need to get through first. So I have, I just started Elfenlied the other day, and of course, Elfenlied is like a really, really good series. I know for a fact that I'm gonna enjoy the series itself, but I need to finish it. Um, and then my girlfriend really, really, really wanted to watch Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Um, I I've warned her about what exactly happens in the series, but she is charging headlong into it, so she's gonna have to deal with the consequences of the series, not me. So, hey mate, welcome to the stream. I don't mind using the HK416 rear sight. So I should technically be at work right now, but I'm not. So I don't usually stream around this time, so don't expect this to happen often. I'm doing a couple different things in this stream. Um, I like I need to go to the bathroom, so I'm kind of holding out on that just a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead to the bathroom, and then when I get back, I'll explain what I'm gonna be doing in this stream. So keep it civilized in chat, please. Oh God. And then when I get back, we'll discuss what's going on. Yeah. I've been told that I should do Star Wars blasters before, and then I just don't. Star Wars blasters, despite the fact being based off of real guns for the most part, they don't interest me because I kind of feel as if they're like they're kind of like Black Ops 3 weapons in a ways, where they're people who aren't um, weapons designers design something, and then it half of what's on it doesn't make any sense at all, and then that's like my main problem with everything. So I don't don't usually like. I kind of want to do like a custom this right here. And then I think a custom stock would be for the best. I don't think a standard MP5 stock would be good on this one. Bump this up to 200. Whoa, not what I meant, not what I meant. Kind of like that, I guess. I'm gonna delete that out. In terms of magazine, I actually have a cool idea for this one. Grab this right here. Ooh, no. If I'm gonna make guns that are fantasy, it's gonna be from anime. So I've thought about doing anime guns for a while now. So like Hellsing Ultimate, the Dominator from um, Psycho Pass. Now that I'm watching Puella Magi and Madoka Magica again, I could do Mommy's gun. I know Bakker's done pretty much all three of those, and he's done really, really good at them. That doesn't mean I can't try, so I could also try my hand at it. So he can't steal all the credit. And I do make plenty of fantasy guns as well. In fact, fantasy guns are some of my favorite guns to make. Except the fantasy guns that I like to make are the more of the realistic ones. This serves as a mock-up for what I want, so we can just get rid of it. There's no point in saving it. These are some of the fantasy guns that I like to make, and I made some of them before, but these are actually like realistic and the ways that they function. So we'll take, for instance, the Monitor PDW. It's a pretty tried and true design. I mean, everything on this weapon makes sense. The magazine release will be back here where the magazine is. This, I'm considering this to be the bolt catch, which makes sense. It's right where your magazine is at, so that the magazine can activate it. Your charging handle's up here in front of the weapon. This makes sense. There's a gas piston up here, so this would make perfect sense. The gas system's in line. This makes sense to me because you just pull it back, it blocks the trigger from being pulled. Semi-auto drops the sear a certain amount of times. Full auto just holds the sear down. Like this makes sense to me. Let's scroll on over to the Marjorie. This makes sense to me too. Because this works. This is just a Scar H, basically, just with an elongated front end. But ambidextrous on both sides, shell ejection port on both sides. I know the Scar only has a shell ejection port on one side, so this was just a nice little touch. Why do I like realistic guns? Primarily because they're realistic. They're not out of this world. They make sense. I've made unrealistic guns before. Let's grab. Where is the Vesper? I'll grab the Vesper from Black Ops 3. And we'll take a look at it, and I'll explain why I like more realistic things more. This is the Vesper from Black Ops 3. As you can see, it's a bullpup submachine gun from the Black Ops 3 franchise. But there's a glaring issue that I have with the Vesper. First off, the angle of this magazine is atrocious, is the easiest way I can put it. There's no cartridge that you can fit in the angle of this magazine. This is a 45-degree angle, basically. And it just, no matter what you do with this magazine, it's not going to work. You cannot fit a cartridge because of the way the cartridge sits. Where's my... So we'll use this for example. So this is an airsoft magazine. See, it's got BBs in it, but it'll serve as for the purposes that we need it in. So the grip on a gun is at an angle. The reason for that, for those of you who don't know, is because when you're pointing, your hand has this natural angle to it, and that's why grips are now angled. They understand that if you angle the pistol grip to fit the contours of your hand a lot better, when you point, it's going to feel natural. So if this was a straight up and down grip, the pistol, when you extend, is going to point up slightly. But if you angle this grip, it's going to point straight. So that's why pistol grips are at an angle. Well, because they are at an angle, these magazines have to have an angle too. So you can see the magazine is going to go into the gun like this. It's going to be at an angle, and the top is going to be flat like this. So let me grab a cartridge. I'll grab my 40 Smith & Wesson because it has the actual bullet in it itself. So this is a 40 Smith & Wesson. This is a live cartridge. If I hit that primer back here hard, or the primer back here hard enough, it'll go off. But this is sitting on top of a magazine like this with feed ramps. So when the slide comes back, it's going to ride over top of this because this is going to be pressed down by a spring. When the slide comes fully back, it's going to start pushing on the back, and the cartridge is going to do this. It's going to go up into the feed ramp and then into the chamber. And then that process repeats in semi-automatic firearms. Now then, the shape of this cartridge is lucky to the point where it's going to feed into the gun or into the magazine like this. This is going to be the angle that it's at, and that's going down the entire length of the gun. If you were to take and make this angle like a 45-degree angle, you can see that it has very awkward complications with a bullet or a cartridge like this. So you don't put like really ridiculous angles like that on weapons like this. So that bothers me about this gun in itself. So we'll take a look at some of the other Black Ops 3 guns. Black Ops 3 guns, and I'll demonstrate more about why I don't. I accept the KN-44. The KN-44 is actually pretty well designed because it's just simply an AK. The Vesper we just went over. The SVG, the problem I have with the SVG is that this is obviously intended to be the big 50 caliber rifle of the game. Let me go grab a shotgun shell. So this is a 12 gauge shotgun shell. It's empty. I've already shot this one out of my dad's shotgun. So a 50 caliber rifle cartridge is just slightly smaller than this in diameter. Just slightly. So this is pretty big. I can stick a finger in here. So a 50 caliber cartridge is just slightly smaller in diameter than these, but they're longer. And by longer, I mean way longer. I think that's about as long as they are. They're, I think I want to say as long as a dollar bill. The SVG's problem is that a 50 caliber rifle has a huge amount of back pressure once you pull the trigger. And that back pressure has to go somewhere. So a 50 caliber rifle usually has a whole bunch of locking lugs that prevent it from opening. The problem with the SVG is that these side panels over here actually open up, and that's ruining your strength in your receiver, because all these panels, because they open up, all this metal that should be here to provide strength for all the pressure that this 50 BMG cartridge, or even bigger for all we know, is being removed and could break the gun just really bad. My one quirk with the M8A7 is this area right here, the charging area, but even then I don't find that to be too much of a problem. That could be easy to fix. What? No. XR2 I find to be okay. I don't have any quarrels with the XR2. I don't know why the M870 is here. The HVK30, one problem with the HVK30 is the way that it reloads. For some reason, these front panels open up. There's no reason for the front panels to open up. I would understand if you're doing it for kind of like a tactical reason. So there's no rail system on these back panels, so if you wanted to take these off by using some form of quick detach system and replace them with railed panels, I could see that. The one problem I have with the Weevil is the way of ejection. I don't think there's a shell ejection port on the other side, and it's a P90 ISK type system, so it should be ejecting out the bottom, but I don't think it does, so that's my one problem with that. The Man of War is just overly complex for no reason in the Magwell area. Like, there's no reason that it should open up in the Magwell like it does. The Locust is fine. That's fine. Let's see, that's the Man of War. This is the Haymaker. The Haymaker is pretty okay too. Most of the LMGs in this game are okay except for the Gorgon. The P.6 is just retarded in my opinion. A charge burst sniper rifle is just stupid. The VMP is okay. The Dingo confuses me just because of the weird reload mechanism that it has, but it's okay. The Argus also confuses me because of the weird reload mechanism that it has. The KRM-262 is just overly complex when it comes to reloading. It should not be this complex where you have to take off the whole top receiver to get it to reload. If that were to fail, you'd be screwed and you couldn't reload it. So that just doesn't make sense to me. The SCR is okay. MR6 and Kuda are okay. The Gorgon was the one LMG that I had a problem with. It has this sliding thing. That sliding thing isn't a problem. That sliding thing is probably a recoil balancing system. So Newton's laws of motion. So if one thing's moving in this direction, you can cancel it out by moving something equal mass in the other direction at the same speed, basically, or same velocity. Different velocity, speed, and direction. So different speed, different direction. Same speed, different direction. There we go. So I don't doubt that it would work. I doubt how it's working because I don't see any mechanism for that. I think that's all the main guns in the game. Okay, here we go. This is Black Ops 2. Most of those are real. Peacekeeper. The Pharaoh, the problem that I have with the Pharaoh is that it has to use caseless ammunition. There's no way that I can use anything else because there's no ejection port on the Pharaoh. And caseless ammunition is dirty and very unreliable, so I don't know about whether or not it could use caseless ammunition. If caseless ammunition was such a good thing, then it would be used way more in normal rifles, but it's not, so don't use it. Oh man, that's just so fake, it's not even funny. Man of War. The Shiva, the problem I have with the Shiva is how you cock the weapon. You just kind of slap the handle down. It's really weird. There could be mechanisms that do all this, but the thing with most guns is that you're supposed to keep it simple. Because if you don't keep it simple, it goes horribly awry really, really fast. So that's why you're supposed to keep it simple. Making overly complex things proves horrible for business and horrible for military trials. So if you make it super simple, you don't have to worry about either of those things. Borderlands guns. I've seen a couple of Borderlands guns. I tried playing Borderlands. I played it for all of like 5 minutes before I just got bored and then uninstalled it. But that was the first game. I know the second game is supposed to be astronomically better. But I just don't. I don't particularly care, I guess, for them. I guess is the way to put it. We should do something that I haven't done on stream in a while. But at the same time, I don't. Like, it just... I want to do something, but I don't want to do something at the same time. I gotta update the website. I gotta finish some models too. I got some models that I haven't even finished, like the Hellcat here. I just have the magwell and magazine release just sitting here unfinished. I should really finish it. I started a new PP19 Bizum. This is going to be the Mark II because this is widely an okay receiver, but at the same time, I should start from the newer AK receiver that I have, because this one is not the best. So I have the newer AK-47 that we could use. Download it, wait for it. Download it anyway. There's no viruses in it. Open this up. Obviously, we could just use this for. Is this a 3? Yeah, it's a 3. I was about to say. We could use this for the PP19, and it would work out fine. We just have to change a couple things around for the most part. Like delete the magazine out, delete the stock, delete the front handguard, leave the barrel in place, and then just figure out how everything connects up, and we'd be pretty fine with the Mark III version of the PP19. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I guess I'll do the website today just to do something. But that's gonna require the PC, so let me work on getting the PC cleaned out so that we can actually do this. My PC off that way? Yeah, my PC must have died, or the power must have got cut or something like that, basically, because the PC was turned off. World War I weapons, I've thought about. The problem with World War I weapons is a couple of things that we can talk about. There are a lot of really, really cool World War I weapons. So if you don't know about this channel, it's called Forgotten Weapons. It's run by this man named Ian. Fantastic man. And he goes through and he finds all these rare, obscure, experimental weapons, and he does videos on them because he has partners with people that he needs to be partnered with to do stuff like that. Fantastic channel, and I've seen some really, really cool World War I weapons and stuff, but at the same time, the main problem with World War I weapons is that they're almost all the same thing. So most World War I weapons are bolt-action rifles. So once you get like the basic shape to a stock down, you're just about halfway there to making all of the World War I weapons. That's why I haven't really made much of semi-automatic battle rifles and things like that for the most part, is because I just kind of, once you build one, you've built them all. That's kind of how I feel about stuff like that. Come on, we need to turn on. Let's do it. Come on. PC's having problems apparently. Shouldn't be. Should be going fine. I need to update the website as best I can though, because there's quite a bit that needs to be added to the website. No signal? No? What do you mean no signal? Like, bro, the computer's on. Trying to get this. I don't think we're just gonna turn the computer off and turn it back on. This is being slow. In the meantime, this is what we got of the MP5 SK so far built in real life. I need to come through and I need to make a few changes. Widely to the grip. I love the shape of the grip, but this tape is a problem. This is connected to the back via a Technic beam. You can see it gets, well, you can see it right on this side. There's a Technic pin that runs right here where it connects to the grip. And then this front connection here is just this super weird connection that I came up with. But other than that, this is a fantastic weapon. It's just a couple little things that I need to fix on it. Mainly the grip, and then trying to get the rest of it, some kinks worked out of it. But it works great. Obviously, we have a problem with over-inserting the magazine. It can go way up to there, but I would prefer it to not. So, fantastic gun. It's just got some kinks to it that need to be fixed first. Where do I live? I live in Florida. So I live in the Sunshine State. Beautiful state, of course. It's got a lot of problems to it. It's obviously super, super hot, and weather can change on you in a dime. So I went to Fun Spot yesterday with my girlfriend for our year anniversary. We had a fantastic time, except we got out there. It was nice, bright, sunny, having a good time, and then like an hour or two later, it started to pour, and by pour I mean like really, really pour. So we had to wait it out for it to stop raining before we could begin going again. And then of course the tracks are wet, so you can't ride the red track. The blue track was closed a lot longer than what I thought it was going to be. The yellow and green track opened up almost instantly. Damn it, come on. I was dropping wax on me, that's why it was really like awkward to do that. I do not have a download file for the AK-47. I don't have download files for any of my models anymore. It doesn't interest me to do that much anymore. Yeah, I burned myself, but it's worth it, so my room can smell good. These Yankee candles are just fantastic. They really are. Florida's not too bad of a state to live in. I don't like being this far south. I would like to be in a more moderate climate. So moderate climates would be kind of like the Tennessee area. I love Tennessee. I lived in Tennessee for just a little while, not too long. Why is there no internet connection? I lived in Tennessee for about 3 years at the longest. It was more like 2, but it was like 2.5, so 3 works. I like the weather up there more because there's actual seasons. Here in Florida, we don't have much actual seasons. We don't really have much of anything other than sun and heat, or rain and more heat. So, of course, being able to have actual seasons like snow and whatnot is really, really nice, as opposed to just sun, rain, storms, things like that. So, all right, let's get my website up and going on Weebly. There's a lot of guns that need to be added, and hey, if I can carry on conversation, I will keep going all day long. We'll see how far we can get, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got about 70-ish models to go through to get uploaded today. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh, that's right. I might actually have more than that because... Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot to go through. We'll see. The Magpul PDR was the last assault rifle that we uploaded, and I still have quite a bit to go. So do I have... I got the Vepr, right? Yep, I got the Vepr. The AUG should be in here. My finger hurts where I burned it really bad. Where's the AUG at? AUG. Yep, AUG's here. The Strike M4 integrally suppressed assault rifle. Strike M4. The Ripper Mastery Edition. Ripper. Yep, Ripper's here. Endun's AK build. I don't think that one's here. There's quite a bit for that one that needs to go into the webpage because there's so much that goes into it. So that one is, I should have that up here. That should be the P2. I just saw the P2. I just read it. Endun's R8, 200. P2 AKM16, which is the code name that I gave to it. So that one needs to be done. We should add a star to that one so we can see that. Magpul PDR, I believe that, yeah, that's the last one that we did. M4A1 from Modern Warfare 2, we should check that out. I'll check it out over here on this channel so y'all actually get something. M4A1, how far do we get? Alright, so we got basically this. I actually rebuilt this one pretty recently, so we can also get that uploaded into it as well. Alright, so M16A4. Did I do the M16? I didn't do the M16, so we need to do the M16 as well. I'll add a star. The M14 battle rifle is up there. OGBR M4 carbine is not up here. I think I don't know if I'm going to make that its own page or if I'm going to put that on the page with this one. I don't know about that. The L85, it should be here. The KN44 needs to be added. I know that for a fact. I have a CAC PDW. No, I think this was a canceled project. Let me take a look at this real quick. Yeah, that's fine. I think this was, again, a canceled project. I know where I can get a CAC PDW from and work on it to make it mine, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. The CAC PDW is a pretty okay looking gun. I wouldn't mind making my own. It'll be something quick and easy to do one day instead of more complicated type things. If this would load. Oh yeah, this is an old model. I can already tell. Oh yeah, this model's disgusting. This is disgusting. Look at, I don't want to look at this anymore. That was the CAC PDW. IWI TAR 21 should be updated. as well. Is it updated? New guns, assault rifles, IWI, Pt.1. There should be, yeah, there should be 2 of them, and there's 2 of them here. So, yeah, we're good. Good there. The IWI Galil is here. I need to rebake one of those really bad. HBR A3 is here. HK XM8 is here. HK G36. I need to remake one of them too. HK G36 here. HK G3 here. HK 416 here. Gilbo Shorty, I haven't finished. Scar PDW is here. FNH Scar L. Scar L, Scar L, Scar L, Scar L. Scar L, Scar H, just saw that. FAMAS, the FAMAS on here. Tell me the FAMAS is on here. FAMAS is on here. The foul. Foul. Did I not put the foul on here? Because I was so ashamed of how the foul looked. Yeah, I didn't put the foul on here because I was so ashamed of how the foul looked. I really don't like the looks of the foul. But we can add it since it's part of the history, I guess. F2000, 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 F2000's here. CZ Bryn 805. I haven't finished that, so we can't add that. The Colt M4, I have this one here, but I think this is an old model that looks disgusting. I'm pretty sure it's an old model that looks disgusting. Yeah, we're not gonna take a look at that. What was that Colt? Colt Advanced Combat Rifle is here. The Colt ACR. Funny how that worked out. CMMG Mutant CLR-51 is a custom-made rifle, but it's here. AR AK-12. Where are you at? You gotta be on here. There's no way you're not. Yep, there it is. AR AK-12's there. AR-15 lower receiver. It's weird. AR-15. What's here? What do you look like? Ah. Yeah, you're an awkward thing that I don't want to talk about. Really disgusting looking rifle, to be honest. Cool design concept, just really bad looking. We're not gonna touch on that. We're gonna go back. Assault rifles, APS underwater. Yep. A94, I know that's on there. AK-47's on there. Yep. ACR, Modern Warfare 2. You on here? Yep. And the Honey Badger I know is on here as well. So we have pretty much all of them except for just a few. Assault rifles aren't on here. So we can start with the FAL. I really don't want to put the FAL on here because the FAL does not look the best at all. But at this point, delete all that. Why get that open? Okay, open this. Downloads. Close that. Download the image itself. I didn't open it. I don't know why I opened it. Go to Weebly pages. Scroll on down to New Guns Assault Rifles. Click on So I did put the foul on here. Why is there... Did I miss it? I did, Lord. I put the foul on the website? I don't remember putting the foul on the website, but apparently I must have missed putting the text to the actual thing itself, apparently. Yeah, apparently I missed putting the text in. Interesting. FAL. Hyperlink. Standard page. FAL. Text needs to be the dark red version. This text here should be the dark blue version. No, no one has made the DC-15S that I know of. The best bet would be checking out Nickbrick. Nickbrick might have. I think Nickbrick did the other one. I mean, just simply Google searching DC-15S has brought up a few different brick built results. Yeah, I don't. Star Wars blasters just don't interest me as much as other blasters or as other guns do. And delete this out since I don't need to make the file anymore. Website was published, so we can come over here, go to home. And there's the file. So is the file in the orange? And I think it was. The file is still there. Alright, so we can unstar this. Move star. KN44 from Black Ops 2 is next, but there is so much that needs to be done for that one. The KN44 is like one of my best guns. Most of my Black Ops 3 guns are some of my best guns for building. It's not always about finding things with instructions, mate. You can always just try to build it yourself, because that's ultimately how you get better at building. By like actually trying to build it instead of just following someone else's instructions. I've got other projects that I would rather do. I still have a whole bunch of guns that are unfinished. Like, I really, really want to make the FN57, but I really want to make a really good one. Like, Bakker's FN57 has really inspired me, and that's about the way that I want to build one. So I'm going to try to get one as close to his as I possibly can. But if I can't, then I'm going to try a different way to do it. It's just going to be a long time before I'm able to get everything that needs to be done. Just because you can only use normal bricks doesn't mean you're limited. You're only limited by your creativity, mate. So, like, take for instance, LGBR, Lego Gun Builder Replica. You can do like really fantastic things with just some of the most simplest bricks there is. So the best way that you can improve is to take a look at what you have in your collection and basically think of a whole bunch of uses for something that isn't standard. So you could find all sorts of really cool uses for parts that don't usually have that use. And once you start doing stuff like that, you can start finding out different connection points and different things like that that can benefit you once you start getting into trying to find other things to do. So you just gotta catch your stride, basically. You'll do fine. See you later. Thanks for coming out watching. YouTube. Gotta go grab the Pt.1 off my channel. Videos. Scrolling back to find Pt.1. Where is it at? What's the update? There it is. It's a 14-minute long video. Grab this, come back over to here. Boom, boom, that, got him. Alright. To the top button is link. Grab this, scroll down. Okay, scroll all the way down till we get to here, hit yes. This, back. This needs to come all the way back up to the top. Back up just a bit. Plop that in right there. Okay, now then I want a slideshow right here. Continue. We're going to select basically everything that I have here. And drag them into here. So now it's going to upload all 25 of those. We should be fine. I guess I should have used the MP5 SK to show them that even basic bricks can lead to some pretty cool different things. Like this little technique here that I learned from Christopher Hopman is really cool. These are standard slope pieces. These are 1x3s of the standard boards. The studs on this end over here. And then there's anti-studs on bottom that accept studs. And you put that in, and then you use hinge bricks, and you can actually make a mag weld that's at an angle like this without having to use pretty much any other connection point. This is wedged in here, and then these filler pieces that you see here are vent pieces that actually just fit right in, and this is a really cool technique that well, he posted to the chat a while back about whether or not we could use it for anything. He had developed it, but he didn't know what to use it for, so I went ahead and, well, this makes a fantastic MP5 magwell, so I'll as well use it as that. So that's what I ended up using it for. I don't know if I can use it for anything else in the future or not. But it's a fantastic magwell because it's hollow in the middle, so I can reach up here and you can actually see the bolt moving because I'm touching the bolt on the bottom of my finger. So it's completely hollow on the inside, right through here, which is good because if you want to do like an exposed bullet at the top of the magazine, you can pull back on the grip itself and stuff like that. It's just really cool design. Very innovative. Not very many people do it, so it was cool nonetheless. Anyhow. We're going for about an hour now. Alright, so we're going to save that slideshow because that has done what it needs to do. Notice that, we don't need that. Can't delete all of those. Click on, oh, I'll keep clicking on the wrong thing. Here we go. I need, is it complete? Let's see if it's complete version. I don't think it's complete version 1. We're going to open up complete version 1. I don't think complete version 1 has, oh, it does have a magazine in it. I didn't know if it had a magazine in it or not, so. Yeah, I need a rendered image of this, but I don't know if I can get a rendered image. I think the last time I tried to get a rendered image, it gave me a bullshit excuse. I would really like to use LDD to Pavre for this, but I don't know if that's going to work. I think it's going to give me an error. So let's see, convert. Okay, yes. Yeah, I failed. So we can't use that, which leaves blue render. And blue render is going to do some weird shit with the metallic flaking of the gun itself. Oh, nope. I can't even use blue render. Blue render won't do it either. Well, that's not good. That means we're not going to have any rendered image. Musili? I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Foreign names get me all the time. But hi, welcome to stream. Good to see you. Like, the meme? Or are you being serious? Your name is really Jeff? Because I don't know if you mean the meme or not. For all I know, you can mean the meme. Do stock. Do the lower receiver in magazine. Okay, so you're serious. Your name is Jeff. Okay. Because that is a meme. Because I work at a summer camp, and the kids will say that all the time to mess with me. So I know it's a meme and things like that. But if you're serious, all right, I can do Jeff. Jeff is a lot easier than the other one. The chat is delayed. Yes, it will always be delayed. My internet's not good enough to keep up with that, with chat, basically. So generally speaking, it will be delayed quite a bit. I think right now we're on like it depends. I think it's a 15 to 20 second delay right now, but of course it could get worse, so just be wary of that. So yeah, so just be wary of that. As the stream goes on, chances are sometimes the stream will cut in and out. It'll do weird things. If I don't say goodbye, don't think that the stream is ended, because they usually say goodbye before I end streams. If it cuts in and out a lot, it will end up delaying itself even further. Favorite COD game? Um, right now, it's got to be Black Ops 3. I think Black Ops 3 was just a superb game that took the best of everything and put it where it needed to go. So Black Ops 3 obviously doesn't have it's not without flaw. There's a lot of flaws. The supply drop system really pissed me off about Black Ops 3. Um, but I think the good thing about Black Ops 3 is that the movement was pretty well balanced to the game. So Advanced Warfare was the first game that introduced advanced movement. I played a lot of Black Ops 2 too. I really liked Black Ops 2. So I can say Black Ops 2. I think all the Black Ops series games have been pretty good. I think the Black Ops games are some of my favorites, even more so than the Modern Warfare games. Black Ops 3 did the movement really well that Advanced Warfare didn't. So my problem with Advanced Warfare is that the second you started shooting at someone, they would like boost jump into the air and then do the side dodge thing, and then they would end up some completely other different place. And if you didn't have a super high sensitivity, you can never follow where the hell they went in the air, and then they would just turn on you and own your ass. And that was really frustrating. Whereas Black Ops 3, there was like an actual cooldown to the movement, basically. So you just couldn't instantly take off into the air the second you started getting shot at. You actually had to you had to you kind of had to plan it a lot better. And I think the wall running in Black Ops 3 was implemented a lot better than some of the other games. I play a lot of Titanfall 2. I like Titanfall 2 as well. Um, the maps in Advanced Warfare, I don't like them either. I've seen some people go back and do like retro streams and stuff of Advanced Warfare, and I remember the maps, but I don't remember them being that bad. So now that I've gone back and I see kind of like how they are, it's just they're just they're bad. Like they're horribly designed. The weapons in the game, some of them look okay, others look pretty cool. Some are just look stupid. I just Black Ops to me feels like a good game. I feel like Treyarch actually cares about the fan base. I feel as if the other ones are trying but just can't keep up, I guess is the good way to put it. Um, Black Ops 2, I played so much Black Ops 2, it's not even funny. I really did. Um, it's backwards compatible now. I just need to get the CD from my sister so I can start playing again. Um, she's not home. I should do it now while she's not home. But I'm not that mean, so. I love Titanfall 2. I really do. My one problem, but here's my thing with the Titanfall game. So we as players, you want consistent progression, like beyond consistency. You want to sink hours and hours into a game, right? Titanfall 2 is just too much for me, man. There's no end in sight for Titanfall 2. I'm like a completionist, right? When I'm playing Black Ops 2, I wanted gold on every gun, and then that unlocked diamond in that category, and then it felt really good in Black Ops 3 to get diamond on guns, to get dark matter, which I did, and then it felt good to get to 10th prestige, and past 10th prestige into you're going into like the up to 1,000. I never got to 1,000. I didn't sink that much hours into it, but like there's a progression system that works in Black Ops 3, and it works really well. The progression system in Titanfall isn't bad, right? I love how you keep all the attachments even after you've ginned a gun, but there's so many generations for a gun, and it takes forever to get there. There's 10 generations per gun. It takes 2,500 to assist for certain camouflages of a gun, and it's not easy getting assist in that game. Like, it just really isn't. So trying to do that is difficult. I want to be the completionist. I want all the camouflages on every single gun, but with the amount of stuff in that game, It's difficult to do that, and that's discouraging, and that's the reason why I haven't played as much as what I probably should be. See, I don't have the black camo on all SMGs. If I was going for something like that, I don't have a black camo on any of them. The only gun that even remotely close to having black on is the car SMG, because that's the only gun that I've been using the entire game since I've started playing, and it's just it's nowhere near the end, and because it's nowhere near the end, it's bothering me just a little bit. I play console, Xbox One. That's just been what I played for most of my life. I really wasn't big into gaming, and then I went and spent the night at my cousin's house, and we'd sit there and we'd play Black Ops 1 Zombies for the longest of times is what I remember the most. We played a little bit of Modern Warfare 2 and 3 when it came out. I remember going for nukes on Favela by using Attack 45 I remember using the USP 45 with the tac knife to get nukes on Favela, because you can sit there and with well-organized communication, you could spawn trap the enemy team on Favela and just go on ridiculous kill streaks and things like that. Yeah, I remember those times, and that's what really got me into gaming. Of course, my cousin played on Xbox 360, so I wanted to play on Xbox 360. So the second Xbox 360 went on sale at Best Buy for a Black Friday deal, I went and picked one up. And unbeknownst to me, my cousin actually went to PC. He stopped playing Xbox. Well, I shouldn't say that. He stopped playing Xbox, went to PlayStation, because PlayStation at the time was still free for your internet. And then he had both consoles. He traded in the Xbox after he stopped playing it, because the PlayStation has better single player titles, which is true. And then after he got kind of done with the PlayStation 3, he moved on to play PC gaming. So I love Kino too. Kino is pretty fun to me. That's my gamer tag. Our map that we played on all the time was not Kino. Well, when the game first came out, it was Kino, and then after some updates came through, Ascension came out, and then we started playing Ascension the most. Because the problem with me is I was really young, I didn't really play all too much, so I didn't understand certain mechanics. I didn't understand you're supposed to train with the zombies, like TRAIN. You're supposed to get them behind you, then you turn around and you sink a whole bunch of bullets in them to get massive amounts of points and things like that. I didn't really understand that about the game. So playing on Kino and kind of like these closer in quarters really messed with me, because I was not particularly good at it. So once I actually got to Ascension and there was just a little bit wider open area that I could use, is when I started getting a little bit better. So that's the reason we played on Ascension a lot more. After Ascension, what was the one with George Romero in it? Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead. We played Call of the Dead quite a bit too. Ascension, and then the very last map, which was the Moon map. Which one was the Moon map? I don't think it was called Moon, but if in case it was called Moon, we played Moon quite a bit. I wasn't good enough to play some of the more challenging maps. I don't play much anyways anymore. So the newer, I'm discouraged from playing zombies, because the whole point to me original playing was that it felt good to play with my cousin and his cousin. There was 3 of us all in the same room in a LAN party. It felt really, really good. We were having jokes, watching each other's backs, things like that. Felt really good. And then of course we stopped doing that, and then it didn't. Playing zombies over line is just not the same. So we don't play much anymore. I haven't talked to him in a while either. Last time I talked to him was when he was down for Christmas. He's an air traffic controller in the Air Force, so um, I don't get to talk to him all too much. It's usually just during holidays and things like that. I have been planning to build something from Titanfall. I don't know what yet. I've been thinking about um, doing one. No, this is the uh, uh, oh man, what's it called? Adjustable stock. Nick Brick, he just uploaded a video of a Titanfall 2 weapon that was just fantastic. It looked amazing. And I asked him for advice on how to like really get good at building Titanfall 2 guns. So he gave it to me, and he told me that there's people who are like the lead artists in the game who upload really high definition photos of like really big spreadsheets so you can really zoom in and get nice good details of the guns and the different features and how they move and different things like that. So I'm I've been thinking about it for now. So we'll see what happens with that. But I still have other projects that I need to finish before moving on to Titanfall. I like the intervention. I've built the intervention before. Um, I actually did really good with it. I didn't think I was going to do as good with it as I thought I was going to do, and then it turned out really good. So I'm happy with how my intervention turned out. I haven't uploaded it to the website yet. I still got quite a bit of things that need to be uploaded to the website. So we're gonna try to get some done today. The KN44 is taking a lot longer because, well, I'll show y'all once I'm done. The KN44 it's a lot to talk about with the KN44. So yay! We'll talk about that here in a second after I finish this description, and then we'll get into it. What do I think about Star Wars Battlefront 2? Well, I'm not gonna pre-order it. That's what I think so far. Like, let's see. I moved that for a reason. I have the original Battlefront here. A friend of mine bought me this as a Christmas present or a birthday present, one of the two. I don't know. I'm not kidding when I said this. I played it for a day and then I never went back. It's just an absolute. It's not a terrible game. Really great graphics, solid gameplay, but it didn't have what it needed. The problem with Battlefront 2, or the problem with that Battlefront, is that the expectation was just to reskin the original Battlefront, which would have been fine. I played the shit out of the original Battlefront. Like, I've played Battlefront 2 so much. Do I have it? I think it's right here. Oh, what is this? Oh, weird. What's inside the CD drive? What's inside the CD drive? I played the shit out of the original Battlefront. That I went out and I bought on PC Battlefront 2 so that I could play it, because that's how much I played it. And I love the game. There was classes. You could choose each class. If you devoted enough time to the classes and you went on enough killing sprees with the weapons in those classes, you unlocked the permanently upgraded versions of those weapons, and it was fantastic. Galactic Conquest was my favorite game mode ever. Space battles were fun. You could disable certain parts on capital ships that made sense. You could risk your life by boarding the enemy ship itself and then going inside and trying to fight off troops at the same time that you're trying to set off time bombs and shit inside their shield generator and different things like that. It just fantastic made game for the time period that it was made at, and it worked. And then EA came along and they literally all they had to do was reskin the original Battlefront 2 or the original Battlefront with the same map, same concept, same everything, and they would have made fucking millions. But they didn't. So I haven't seen much of the promotional information for Battlefront 2. I've seen that there's going to be an original single player story to Battlefront 2. My problem is the story to Battlefront 2, the original, was actually pretty good. It wasn't it was intertwined with the lore between episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, but it didn't feel like it was pushing too far ahead. So the original story for episodes 1, 2, and 3 from Battlefront 2 is that you're a part of the 501st Legion and that you are going on missions under the command of Anakin Skywalker, because Anakin Skywalker is the leader of the 501st. You're going on missions, and then of course once you get to Order 66, you go out and you start killing a whole bunch of Jedi. You start developing into that. Once the Empire is formed, you're still part of the 501st, because then the 501st becomes the Legion that's underneath the command of Darth Vader. Again, still Anakin Skywalker, you're just now working for the Empire. Of course, he keeps sending you out on missions, you keep doing things, and then you come across Jedi, things like that. It worked well with the lore without stretching too far. My problem with Battlefront 2, the new one that's coming out, is not that it takes place with the Empire. I think taking place with the Empire is fine. It doesn't bother me that we're going to be playing as the bad guys, because what they're going to do, and I guarantee you this, is we're going to be playing as bad guys with morals. So they're going to open up by saying that we're ruthless killing machines, things like that, and that the world is black and white. But then further on into the game, I guarantee some characters are going to be hit with these moral gray area problems that they have to overcome. And that's where we're going to see the humanity behind even the Empire, because this has been done in the books before. So if you've read books of the expanded universe, which I still believe is canon, despite what Disney said, Disney can go fuck themselves. Luke Skywalker marries Mara Jade, and Mara Jade was an assassin for the Empire. And then, of course, thanks for the sub, mate. Then, of course, Mara Jade leaves the Empire after the Empire falls, and then understands her problems with being an assassin for the Empire and things like that. And it worked well, and there was this moral gray area between she was all evil at one point in time, working underneath the Emperor as a very, very top-notch assassin, and then at one point in time, she kind of realized the error of her ways, married Luke, had kids, and then those kids went on to be evil badasses themselves. It worked well. My problem with Battlefront is that we haven't seen any of what they're introducing. We've never seen a special ops units in the Empire. It hasn't happened. There is plenty of lore in the books to do this. There are plenty of elite Imperial stormtroopers in the books that could be used. There's plenty of elite Imperial stormtroopers that we see in Star Wars The Force Unleashed, which I still consider to be canon as well. Starkiller, despite being super overpowered, would be a fantastic character to include into the series, because there's other super overpowered characters that have been included in the series already, aka Darth Bane, who has been seen in Star Wars The Clone Wars, the 6th season that's on Netflix, the exclusive one. He's seen in there, and then they talk about him in Star Wars Rebels as well. So I would consider him officially canon to the series itself, which is fantastic. So this new special squadron that we're playing as, I don't know how it's going to fit into the Star Wars lore like it needs to, because I think so far my problem with the movies that I've had, the newer movies that have come out, is that they've introduced new material that we don't see anywhere else. So we have new ships, right? That don't go anywhere else. We have new villains that don't go anywhere else. We have new empires, basically, the First Order that is only there for the First Order. And we don't even begin to see the rise of the First Order either. We're thrown into it. Like, this is the new movie. There is this new bad guy called the First Order, led by Kylo Ren and this other guy that Snoke. And yeah, they're the new bad guys. They took place of the Empire. But we're just thrown into that. That's my problem with the new movies. There's not any build up to it. The build up between the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth movies is pretty much there, because the first, second, and third explores how Palpatine comes to power to start the Empire for 4, 5, and 6. I know 4, 5, and 6 came first, second, and third came after 4, 5, 6, but it works if you watch it in order, and I like that. The other thing is, if you go out and you read the expanded universe novels, in particular, you can go out and you can read Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis is a really good book about how Palpatine started at the very beginning. 1, 2, and 3 show him as being the Supreme Chancellor of the Senate, and then how he uses the war to push for emergency powers to declare him essentially head of the Galactic Empire, and that's how he rises to power as the Emperor. And then once he's the Emperor, he can do whatever he wants, because now the Senate doesn't matter. He's an Emperor. He's a dictator. He can say fuck the Senate and then just do God knows what. But I bet many of you didn't know that he had backup plan upon backup plan. So he had clones. He had two things with clones. He had Order 66, where they kill off the clones, or not, where they turn against the Jedi, and either, no matter what, Palpatine was going to succeed. So if the clones failed in killing all of the Jedi, his backup plan was, well, if the clones are trying to kill all the Jedi and the Jedi kill off all the clones, who's going to fight all the droids? Because there's not enough Jedi to fight off all the droids. If there was enough Jedi to fight off all the droids, they wouldn't have needed the clones in the first place, and then would have never fought with them. Well, let's say the clones end up failing to kill all the Jedi, but the Jedi forgive them and then don't kill them anyways. And then the war is prolonged. Did you know that clones actually have a special deterioration behind them? And that the deterioration is there on purpose so that if the war was dragged on for too long, there would basically be this giant epidemic of clone deaths that ruin the Republic's army and force the Republic to give emergency powers to the Chancellor so that he can become Palpatine as an emperor again. And even if the clones did not execute Order 66, no, I already said that. There's those 2 points is what I meant. So no matter what, the Chancellor was going to get what he wanted out of the situation. He was going to become Emperor because he was the one that made the army in the first place. So it's just, he was the one that ordered, what's his name? Oh man. I can't remember his name. The counselor was the one who ordered the guy to go out and basically get the clone army up and running. So the counselor could put in little things with the clones and whatnot to make sure that no matter what, he was going to win. So yeah, it's fantastic. Star Wars lore is some of my favorite stuff in the world. I still believe that the expanded universe is canon. Because the expanded universe is way better than what Disney's doing. If They had, if literally, had they taken the books that come after episode 6 and turned those into movies, and then had branched off into the other books about different subjects that we don't hear about too much, like the Boba Fett series, which is a fantastic series about his life after he crawls out of the Sarlacc pit, he would have, boom, instant fucking profit. They would have been rolling in dough. Instead, we have these new movies, and they're not bad, but they're not good. They are average at best. They are not particularly good at all. And it blows my mind how many times they recycle the same fucking plot point. Did you know, right? So the episode 7 pissed me off because they built giant ass Starkiller base, but they destroyed it the same exact way they did the Death Star both times. So Death Star 1 and Death Star 2 were destroyed in essentially the same exact way. Death Star 1, you flew down the little trench, dropped a proton torpedo into the exhaust vent, boom, you destroyed the core. Death Star 2, same thing, except Death Star 2 had a shield around it, and the shield was positioned on a moon. Land on the moon, deactivate the shield, fly down the trench, drop the proton torpedo, Death Star 2 blows up. Starkiller base, ready for this? Deactivate the shield, place giant bomb in it, blow that shit up. Why are you recycled the same plot point from 2 other fucking movies? No, you don't. No, don't do that. No, the other books that come after 6 are so much better, and you could have used those. You didn't even have to make another movie after 6. You could have gone to the Old Republic. You could have went backwards. You could have had the war between the Sith and the Jedi when they were still plentiful in number. You know how badass those scenes would be if you had the nice slow motion, like the Old Republic intros, right? For the game are fantastically animated, nice, wonderful fights. If you had a movie based upon that, you would make fucking bank. Not everyone knows about the story of the Old Republic, and the Old Republic is just a fantastic plotline because does anyone know Darth Revan? Because if you know Darth Revan, you know probably one of the most badass fucking characters in Star Wars history, and you've probably read all of the books because they're that good. Or you've at least played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, because those are fantastic games as well. 2 is not so much as good as 1, but nonetheless, they are fantastic games, and I would recommend them. Go out and play those if you can. It bothers me that Disney came in and said the expanded universe is no longer canon to the series itself, and then went ahead and changed it to however they saw fit, and how they saw fit is not good. So I think I'm alone again, so me going through all that was just talking to air. So yeah. Hopefully someone else comes in the stream too. We can keep the conversation switched up. Different people, different things. Suppressor. Laser sight. Alright, that's the end of that. Boom, 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 boom. So then we go to home. We can... Where is it at? Where is the KN44? Boom, right here. KN44. Delete that out, delete that out. Come down here on this, click, hit enter, come back up. That little thing, KN44. Highlight it, hyperlink, standard page. Scroll on down, KN44. Highlight it once more. it blue color. Boom. Publish. Am I alone again? One person watching, but I don't know who that person is. And I think YouTube always counts yourself as someone who watches, so I can't trust just one person. I'm gonna have to get 2 people in. So we can also change this. My last update was in April, and it's June, so yeah, it's been kind of a while. It is. Oh, this was 2 months ago, basically, because it's the 12th was my last update. Alright, so if we scroll down here, we should be able to click on this, if this will take us to the right spot. Yes, yes, yes. Game 44 for Black Ops 3. This is, everything that I have for the KN44 right now is this. Of course, my goal for Black Ops 3 is still not changed, but it's going to be a long time before it happens. So my goal for Black Ops 3, for those of you who don't know, is to build every single weapon from the game with every single attachment version. So this is the standard KN44. There's no attachments on this. This is the godlike version. So the godlike version has every single attachment on it, but the standard attachment, not the black market version with the gold camouflage. So this is the adjustable stock, quick draw, the extended magazine with the fast mags, the grip, the FMJ laser sight, suppressor, long barrel, high caliber, and rapid fire. So that's everything on the gun itself. That's all the attachments in the game. So that's every single one here, because every attachment changes up the appearance of the gun. And then there's going to be a third version, which is the black market version, where all of the attachments are changed again. So there's 3 different versions that need to go on it. Baconator, I play on Xbox One. So, yep. We can go here. I'm still looking forward to a Mountain Dew sponsorship, so if anyone could hit me up with Mountain Dew as a company, that'd be fantastic. I would love Pepsi, if y'all watching. I got you. I will stream every day if I have to, just so I can get a sponsorship with y'all. Help me out. I'll help y'all out. That's how this works, right? If I'm beneficial to you, you can be beneficial to me. I haven't seen much information about the Xbox One X just yet. I'm going to wait till E3 is over before I start exploring all the information about E3. I know Rich from Review Tech USA is doing some live coverage and things like that. I'm going to wait till he posts a video because I trust his opinion about the Xbox One S. If the Xbox One X is not adding anything that I really need per se, then there's no point in me getting one. There's no point in me upgrading. My Xbox One is doing just fine. It needs to provide something for me that I don't have already with my Xbox One. Molly, I'm just updating the website right now. I'm talking about the Xbox One X. So the only reason that I upgraded from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One is primarily because my friends moved to the Xbox One, and the Xbox 360 doesn't communicate with the Xbox One. So you can't play with friends that are playing on the Xbox 360. So that's the main reason that I moved to the Xbox One. But until that happens again, if the newer consoles don't offer me anything else that I need, there's no point in me upgrading. So if the new console does... So I'm pretty sure that it comes with 2 terabytes worth of hard drive space. I don't really need 2 terabytes worth of hard drive space. I don't play that many games to require that much space. So that's not a reason for me to upgrade. My Xbox One X already has a Blu-ray player in it. The screen that I use is not 4K compatible, so there's no point in me trying to play in 4K. And to be completely honest, my eyes are so bad as is that I don't even think I would be able to distinguish between 1080p and 4K gaming on this screen that I have. I figured for like TV movie experiences, I would be fine for that, but for gaming wise, I don't think I could. So I don't want to upgrade unless I absolutely have to. Um, so we'll see once I get like the full details out. Once if it does anything new that's like new, innovative, and cool, then maybe, and then I would just give my Xbox One to my sister, where my 360 is right now. But I still don't think that the Xbox One X is going to do anything new, and that's why I'm kind of apprehensive about putting the investment into it. So next thing up is the LGBR M4 carbine. Pretty. This was a file that Lego Gun Builder Replicas sent to me, and he wanted me to go through and improve upon it as best as I could. So I did as best as I could, basically. It just involved doing a couple different things, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and begin on that page. So I'm going to copy the Magpul PDR page once more because it's a pretty easy page to copy. Click on this, come over here, LGBR's M4, back, copy this, back again, here, Control V, close that, back, scroll on up. Right here, place that on in. I played Destiny for the longest of times. I don't play anymore. I was really into Destiny. I was a beta player. I was with the game. I defended it through its thickest of times. I defended the hell out of that game to even the most of all the naysayers. And then it just it fell out for me because I don't think it's so much Bungie's fault. I think it's Activision's fault is the reason it fell out for me. We started getting supply drops into the game, and it's not to the extent that Call of Duty's gotten, but you can tell that it's right around the corner. It's definitely right around the corner, and I don't want that. I really don't. There's no rhyme or reason to have something like that in the game. The other thing is, it just as much as I wanted to play Destiny, it got old and repetitive, and the missions were no matter what, they're like the same thing. Rise of Iron came out, and I want to say Rise of Iron was like $30. It might have been 40. I don't know. And then I was like, oh, cool, new expansion, new content, let's get it done, right? I got through Rise of Iron in like 2 hours, and then I still haven't finished the raid because I didn't care about the raid. It didn't matter anymore. What's the point, right? There's no point. The only point is to show off and be like, hey, this is what I got and this is what you don't. But I already do that because I have the Supremacy Sniper Rifle from the original Queen's Wrath mission. I still have it. It's on my Hunter. But I don't. There's nothing special about Destiny. So, how do you get into betas? Most of the time, getting into betas is pretty easy. It usually revolves around pre-ordering the game or signing up for a beta. So, Paladins, for example, which is a high-res game, it's kind of like Overwatch, is how Paladins is. You can get into that beta by just playing their other games, basically, and then signing up for newsletters, things like that. So, I have Paladins downloaded on Xbox One. I still haven't played because I don't like those types of games. But you can get into it if you wanted to. I don't play Overwatch. I don't like Overwatch. I don't like Overwatch because it's the best way to say it is that I'm not good enough to play Overwatch. That's the best way to say it. I'm nowhere near by far a mechanical player, and Overwatch is all about mechanics and understanding the diverse, intricate situations that you can get into in Overwatch, and I can't do that. at all. I'm really, really bad at doing stuff like that, so I don't play Overwatch. The other thing is none of my friends play Overwatch anymore. We play Smite primarily. Smite's the pretty much the only thing that we play nowadays. Um, and I can do Smite. Smite's just a little bit easier on the mechanical side for me to play because I've been playing Smite for a pretty long time now. I've put over 400 hours into Smite, but I've only put I don't even think I've put more than an hour into Overwatch. I just once I saw how difficult the game was going to be playing, how no, I just never got into it. Um, Destiny. I had a friend. I game share with a friend because you can do that with Xbox One. I game share with a friend, and he offered that if I pay half, we'll just get Destiny 2 together, and then that's how we'll do it. I don't I don't know if I want to get Destiny 2. The intro is good. Cade's there. Cade was like my favorite character from Destiny. But it's like another lie is what I feel is coming, right? So like the first like 3 years of Destiny to me feels like a whole like this big ass beta. There's just never enough content in the game like other popular MMORPGs, and the company always Bungie always just there's always an excuse. Well, we're doing this right now. We're doing this right now. We don't want to do this. We want to do this. Things like that. There's never this is the next thing. Trust us, it's going to be fun. Things like that. There's just never enough content. There's a new content drop. You beat it in like 4 or 5 hours, and then you're done. That's it. It's just no. It's not going to work for me. Sorry, it's just not. So that's the I don't. I'm still a little apprehensive about getting Destiny 2 because I feel like they're going to make the same mistakes over and over again with Destiny 2, and that's why I don't want to get Destiny 2. I just play Overwatch because I thought it was a pretty original idea. I'm not one to get all up into competitive. I really rage too much. I already rage too much in quick play. I'm not. I don't rage all too much. I just know I'm not good, and I hate getting BM'd by other people. I really do. Like, get good, scrub. Play this character. Why are you playing that character? That character's so OP. Things like that. I hate getting BM'd by people like that. And Overwatch, unfortunately, is a really toxic community. But of course, Smite is also a toxic community, so I can't really say that too much. And I've done my fair share of BMing as well. I'm not exactly innocent myself, but I get it to a lesser extent in Smite than I do in Overwatch, so I stick to Smite. What is Smite? Smite is a MOBA, massive online battle arena. So if you know what League of Legends is or Dota 2, you know what Smite is. Except Smite is better than all of them. I can't say that League of Legends is really good. Um, what makes Smite different from all of them is that Smite has a third-person perspective from behind the god that you're playing as. So instead of this fixed camera position, you yourself are the one moving the camera with the character that you're playing as. So that's something that I like about Smite. The other thing is that I love the fact that you're playing as gods from different pantheons from around the world, because some of them I've never heard of. I'm not exactly familiar with the Egyptian pantheon, but I love the Egyptian pantheon, and I've read up on all the lore of the different gods in the Egyptian pantheon, and it's opened my eyes to how diverse other cultures to the world can be. Right, so it's a pretty good history lesson too. So for those of you who don't know, most of the sun gods from most pantheons are the most powerful gods, and they're usually gods. So gods implies that they're male. But in fact, Japan's sun is a goddess. Japan's sun god is a goddess. Her name is Amaterasu. She has a brother who controls the night. But it's cool to see that different cultures respect women more than others. So Japan gave it to a goddess because they respected and highly revered women that way. It's interesting to see different things like that because it's not often you see things like that. Most sun gods themselves are male. So if you think the Egyptian pantheon, it's Ra, who's the goddess of the sun, um, or the god of the sun. I don't know why I say goddess. I'm sorry, Ra. Forgive me. Who else is a sun god? Apollo is not a sun god. Apollo is god of music. I'm trying to think of others. Agni is the god of fire, I think. Can't think of Kepri. Kepri a part of? No, I don't know. There's interesting. I didn't know, for example, that the Mayans actually had. I knew the Mayans had gods, but I didn't know that we knew a lot about them to be able to incorporate enough of their characters into the game. So right now, I main hunters primarily, and hunters is what I'm trying to get to level 10, so I can get all hunters to level 10. I only have 4 left, and I'm working on Giblanque right now, who's the very last hunter, who's from the Mayan pantheon, and he's pretty cool. I just it opened my eyes to different cultures and different themes to those cultures because a lot of the cultures are pretty diverse. The Celtic ones, in particular, are pretty interesting. I could already tell that the Celtic ones are going to be interesting once they announced that they were coming out. So we have Kronos and the Morrigan so far, and then the next one coming out is I can't pronounce his name just yet. Once the game comes out and I'll be able to pronounce it, but the next one coming out is going to be interesting as well. The Japanese pantheon's pretty good. I like Raijin, Susanoo, Amaterasu. There's one more. Got a warrior, you got the mage, you got the assassin. Um, Izanami, who's the hunter, and then there's no guardian so far. I don't think anyhow. Is there a guardian? I don't think there's a guardian. The Egyptian pantheon, of course, the Greeks and Romans are there, but I knew more about them from reading the Percy Jackson series, and then because I read the Percy Jackson series, I got interested. So I go out and I start doing my own research at that point. So I didn't really need to know much about them. And then we got into um, Indian Pantheon is pretty cool too because at the time I started playing Smite, I was actually in an Asian history class. It wasn't called Asian history. What was it called? Asian humanities. I was in Asian humanities. And it was really cool because our first unit was on India and we were learning about all these different gods. And Ram was like one of the first gods that we learned about. Gods. Because there's only technically one god, but there's multiple versions. Indian pantheons are a little confusing. So Ram, spelled Rama, but you don't pronounce the last A, is the 7th avatar of Vishnu, who goes out and saves a princess from an evil guy who hid himself as a golden deer. And that was the story that we learned about, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then I learned that there's different aspects of those gods that carry over to being a part of the 7th avatar of Vishnu. So Ram's skin color is blue. It's like a really lighter shade of blue. It's not like a really dark blue. It's just a little bit darker than this blue. And the reason for that is because their skin and the blue color is supposed to represent that they are from the holy section of Vishnu. They're supposed to be that form. That to me was just interesting to think about. This is a lot to take in, yeah, I know, but once you get used to it, you start to appreciate things. You just got to keep up with it because sometimes you can't keep up with it, sometimes you can. I can't keep up with some of the Mayan stuff gets really confusing, but it's nice to branch out and hear about other things because I'm really used. I come from a Christian background, so I'm used to hearing about a God and God made everything, as opposed to the creation stories of these cultures, which are far different than ours. Japanese creation story, by the way, is really interesting. If you want to go read the Japanese creation story, you can find it on the internet. It's different. It's out there. It's not the same. It's not what you're used to hearing about. So I'm not trying to change anyone's opinions on anything or anything like that. It's just interesting to read what other people believe came to be. Yep. Let me finish typing this out and I'll elaborate on that point as well. So most cultures are like really, really different, but most cultures have gods of the same thing. So you could think about this, right? So Norse mythology, you have Thor, who can control lightning through his hammer. Greek mythology, you have Zeus, who's the god of the sky, lightning, basically set that area. And then you have the Mayan pantheon, which has Chak as their god of the sky. So there's 3 different pantheons here from 3 different parts of the world, for the most part. Norse and basically Thor and Zeus are from the same area of the world, kind of like right there in that hemisphere, but they're far away enough from each other that you don't have the crossovers. And then of course the Mayans are way down in South America, like way far away from these people. So to have 3 gods of the same thing, who it's really cool to see something like that. So they're so diverse because they're their own people, but they have the same things. And this kind of ties back into we come up with I don't want to say that's good. That sounds way worse than what I wanted to. Gods tend to portray natural phenomenon. There we go. The problem, what I liked about Destiny originally, and the problem that continues that you're talking about, is that Destiny is a casual game first. It is not an over-the-top hard MMORPG that you have to sit there and really get into to work. So there's this other free MMORPG called Warframe. And I've tried to play Warframe because I have friends that I play Smite with that are really good at Warframe. But I can't get into Warframe because to get into Warframe requires knowing a whole bunch of stuff about the game itself. And I'm not good at that type of stuff. I can't do it. I'm not overly complex progression systems and things like that. Sometimes I can't wrap my head around it. What I like about Smite is that each god has 4 abilities and a passive. You can choose to auto-level those abilities each game, or you can do it yourself. I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to do it myself, especially with Blanke. It's easier to upgrade his poison darts and his dash before his ultimate or his first ability, because there's no point to upgrade the first ability because you don't really use it, and there's no point in upgrading the ultimate because all it really does is stun. So you put 1 point into it, and then you upgrade these to max first before you start putting points into the other 2. That's easy to understand. There's only 4 abilities, and it's really hard to mess those up. As opposed to something like Warframe, where there's this huge tree. Like you put it out all on paper to see which direction it goes for like mods and weapons and things like that. It's hard to do that. So I can't play Warframe. I could play Destiny because Destiny was super simple. You had just this line of abilities that you unlock as you level up per subclass. We'll go Sunsinger Warlock, because I can do Sunsinger Warlock. I main Warlock in Destiny. You got your first 3 bubbles, or whichever grenade that you want to choose. Each of them were viable for the most part, of course. There's been nerfs and buffs and people complaining and saying things are OP, things like that. Another problem with Destiny that we can talk about later, so we'll digress from that point. Choose whichever grenade you want. You can choose different abilities based on like your super ability. If you want Radiance to last longer, if you want to shield once you Radiance, do you want the ability to self-revive? I always chose self-revive because it was like the best thing ever. I chose self-revive and then self-revive, a solar grenade, which is the one that sits on the ground in a ball, and then with the gauntlets that give you, oh my god, they were great. That was my favorite warlock to play. It was just fantastic because the burn damage was insane. That with Dragon's Breath was pretty good too. That type of simple is super easy to get through and is super easy to understand, but there's no depth behind it. And that's the problem with Destiny, is that it's too simple. Warframe is too complicated. Destiny is too simple. There's got to be this middle ground that neither of them are finding that could really extend it out further. So if you want to find the middle ground, your examples that you could look towards would be something like Final Fantasy, but not any of the really complex Final Fantasies. One of the easier ones to play through, where you could spec a character in a certain direction, but you had to be careful because there was a wrong direction. You could make a character anything that you wanted it to be. You can make a character a healer, you can make a character a tank, you can make a character a damage, but certain characters had an affinity for one thing more than the other. So warlocks in particular would have a good affinity to throwing grenades for the most part, because I feel as if because warlocks have a high intellect stat, supposedly that's part of the lore. The intellect stat is for the intellect stats for supers. So super charge rate should be faster for warlocks than any other character, but it's not. It's the same for all characters. So having like those little, you could spec into that as a warlock, but you couldn't do that as a titan. But on titans, you could spec into a different thing where, so getting kills would give you heavy ammo, but it's like a guaranteed thing. It's not like this possibility thing. Like every 10 kills, get 50 machine gun ammo, and then one like rocket launcher if you're using a rocket launcher. Like that would make sense because that fits into Titan lore, and you could spec into that. And if you go further down that line, the amount of ammo that you get back from those minion kills is good, because some problems during boss battles that we have for Destiny is that your boss attacks, after he gets done attacking, you do damage to him, after you get done doing damage to him, a whole shit ton of minions come out, and then of course you're just kind of scrambling to get heavy ammo, things like that. Sometimes you're not able to get heavy ammo, so you have to pop a synth. The synth, of course, has a cooldown for 5 minutes. Might be 10 minutes. It's been a while since I played. Sometimes Xur doesn't bring around heavy ammo for a while, so you run out of that. Sometimes you run out of Glimmer because it's only 25,000 as a cap instead of higher than that. It's really annoying. Titans would be able to spec into that. Hunter-wise, would spec into blades because that's what hunters would do. So I think extra damage with blades or sniper rifles, because that's kind of what their archetype does. That's how the description reads. Would be cool for hunters and stuff like that. But it's hard to do that. What do you think your best/favorite video is or creation? Best creation by far. You ready? It's super simple choice. I've said this for a while now. The second I got done building it, the CUDA from Black Ops 3 by far is my best creation ever. It's super simple. It's not even like hands down just the CUDA. So we got. I don't want the black one. I wanted the tan one. Boom! By far the best thing that I ever have right here. And then I don't even. That's not even like a. We also have this one, because not only do I have the normal CUDA, but I also have the God mode, which has the adjustable stock, the quick draw grip, fast mags and extended mags, the grip, FMJ, long barrel suppressor, laser sight. This one has the ELO attachment on it, rapid fire, and that's all of them. Which is quite a bit for, the CUDA to me is just fantastic. So, I love the CUDA. Is Smite hard? Smite is a doozy once you first get into it, because there's so much that you have to understand about Smite. But it also depends on what game mode you play, because I don't play Conquest. I can't play Conquest. Conquest is too complicated. They're screwing it up. I played Conquest for Season 2 and 3, and then season 4 they changed up too much for me to play anymore. It's bad in season 4, so I don't play in season 4 for Conquest. I play majority of the time. Clash is now pretty good because of the new map that they put down. 1 second. Working dust cover, maggot, or no, that's low receiver already. Remember that. What's that thing called? Forward assists, brass, deflector, and bolt sketch. Done. I'm not a big COD fan, so I really don't understand anything about that stuff. It went by. I don't play COD as much as what I used to. Black Ops 3 was the last COD that I played really, really heavy. I got the... Do I have it here? I don't think I have it here. Did I buy it online? No, I didn't buy it online. It should be over here. Here it is. I was looking straight at it. I got the Legacy Pro Edition to get that in particular. Call of Duty 4 was the Call of Duty that started me out on the entire series. I went over to a person's... Fun fact about me, I went over to a friend's house that we made up in Tennessee because, like, my sister knew his daughters from school, and then we went over to hang out, things like that. He had a PlayStation 3 that I would play COD 4 on. And I would sit there and I played that for hours on end, and that's what started me into liking Call of Duty. And then, of course, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Remastered. And I never played Ghost, so I didn't include Ghost. But I played Infinite Warfare was just bad. I hate Infinite Warfare with a burning passion. The problem with Infinite Warfare is the gun system is atrocious. And we saw the same thing happen to Advanced Warfare, right? You have these... To say that your game has thousands of guns in it is a blatant fucking lie, because you have a single gun that has different versions. That's like me saying this, I've made 2 different guns here, right? I haven't made 2 different guns. I have a gun, it just has different shit on it that makes it look different, right? So I have 1,000 different guns as a ploy, a marketing strategy to entice you in, and then you found out that it was the same system that they used in Advanced Warfare, and you realized how much you hated that system in Advanced Warfare, and how much Infinite Warfare is still bad because of it. So, we'll take, for instance, we'll go with Advanced Warfare, because once you got an epic for any gun in Advanced Warfare, you were owning people right then and there. So if you got the Bal 27 Inferno, once you got like an epic Bal 27, you were owning everything. Yes, Wimpai, I do know about that. But Infinite Warfare suffers from the same thing. So once you get like a really, really good gun variant, which is all up to chance out of a supply box, instantly your stats can boost. It's no longer about skill or anything like that. So it's a problem. Infinite Warfare turned me off from that because of that. I started playing Call of Duty Remastered because I started really liking Call of Duty Remastered. It was everything that I remembered about the game for the most part. There's a couple different things that had changed that I didn't like. Some of the new camouflages that they added and things like that I really didn't like. And then the first update for Call of Duty Remastered came out, and do you know what they added? Wonderful fucking supply drops. And the second they added that, I was like, I'm done playing. I'll go play Smite. And since then, I've basically just been playing Smite. Smite's been widely the only thing that I've been playing. Other than, I played Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 for a little bit. It's still downloaded. I need to finish it because I've never played it before. Lego Star Wars, The Complete Saga. I'd like to finish it too. There's another single player game. Assassin's Creed 3. I love Assassin's Creed 3. Another benefit of being an Xbox Live Gold member is that you get free games of the month. Assassin's Creed 3 is the only Assassin's Creed game in the entire series that I haven't played. Other than the 2D platformers, I haven't played a whole bunch of the 2D platformers.
So Assassin's Creed 3 is by far like one of my favorites, other than Syndicate. Syndicate's really good because it has this good humor behind it, and then you get to play as two diverse characters who are brother and sister, so they're connected in their own way, but they're two completely different people with different personalities. It works really, really well, as opposed to other games where you're only playing one character. I loved Assassin's Creed 2, Revelations, Brotherhood, fantastic games. Love those. Played the shit out of those. That was before I even had Xbox Live. 3, I'm starting to play a lot of. Unity, eh. I Unity was okay. Syndicate, pretty good game. I beat it once and haven't gone back to it. Black Flag, I hated Black Flag. Nope. I realized how that sounded. Don't take it that way. I meant to say Black Flag. I didn't like Black Flag. There's just too much. I didn't like it. So, yeah. One second. How do you become a YouTuber? Pretty simple. You just start uploading videos. That's pretty much what I did. My first videos were on the Skyhawk gunship. It's up there behind me on top of the bookshelf. I've shown it off before, a whole bunch. Just started uploading videos, and then I just kept going. The one thing that you can't do is just get discouraged. Don't stop is the best way to put it. OGBRs M4. A lot of people will sit there and they'll keep uploading and uploading and uploading, and then they'll just get fed up of not getting anything out of it, and then they'll stop. YouTube is not a safe place, right? It's not at all. You are open to criticism from anyone and everyone, and the second you do something wrong, chances are someone will pounce on you for the problem, and you got to be thick-skinned for it, right? So I've received criticism before, but I've never turned around and done some dumb shit because of it. So we'll take Keemstar, prime example. Keemstar, if you're watching this, you're the greatest YouTuber of all time. Hear me out though. I gotta criticize you for a little bit here. Just bear with me. Keemstar had problems with a black person. His name was Alex. He went on stream and then, of course, kept calling Alex the N-word, and it led to this whole huge problem on the internet, right? So your goal is to be able to take criticism without immediately turning around and blowing up like that, because that's not something that you want to do. That's pretty dumb, and that's going to hurt your reputation, and that's going to stick with you forever, because there are still people who comment on Keemstar's videos calling him out for being a racist. Though he has said he was sorry, they've kind of made up just a little bit, and it is still considered not okay, basically. You got to be very careful and you got to be very dedicated. You can't, the second you get criticism, you can't just cry about it. You got to keep going with it. Like I got criticism today. I opened up the stream by answering comments and someone said that the MP5 SK is good, but it's not, what did he say? He said it's great, but it's not something. It starts with a P. I don't remember what. But that comment has come back to me, and I've been thinking about what I can improve with the MP5 SK. There's a couple things that I want to improve. First off, the magazine. I don't like the straight look, so this will probably be fixed. The tape on the grip needs to be fixed as well, and then I need to fix a little bit. I have some strict issues in certain parts that I need to fix too. Nope, I suck with knives. I can't do knives in the game. We get at it. Wimpie, how did it go well? If you can elaborate. You don't have to elaborate, obviously, but if you would like to, I'd like to hear. We're going to save Endun's AK build for the last assault rifle that we do. We're going to go on into the M16A4 from Modern Warfare 2. Fantastic game. One of the best Call of Duty games. But it's gone down. Some of the newer Call of Duty games have been way better lately, so course, it's going to decrease. The more games that come out, the longer the list gets, and the more go down the list. So, can't blame them. The other thing, Baconator, to become a YouTuber, you got to find something that you like doing. Because how YouTube works nowadays is that you got to be consistent with uploading. No problem with that. Don't worry about it. If it's a private thing, keep it private. I don't mind. You got to be consistent with uploads nowadays on YouTube. You can't just, like I said, you got to be super consistent. Because YouTube is pushing more for becoming like YouTube is becoming a TV service more than anything else now. Content wants to be longer, and they want their viewer retention to be longer as well. So viewer retention is basically how long people are sitting around watching your videos. So how long are they sitting around watching your videos, and exactly how many people are doing that is what they want. They want to take the place of Netflix, right? And this is true, and there's evidence to this. First off, you can pay for movies on YouTube, if you didn't know this. Because you can look up movies on YouTube, you want to find them for free, and the first thing that pops up is usually this little thing that's like the full movie in perfect quality and things like that, and you click on it, and then you have to enter credit card information. That's because YouTube has a service where you can pay to watch movies on YouTube, which is a start, because that means they have licenses to do that. Licenses are what is required to do stuff like this. The other thing is they also have YouTube Red, where you have no advertisements. By the way, Netflix has no advertisements, and you are paying to get content that no one else gets. Netflix has exclusive series that no one else can watch unless you have the subscription to Netflix. Knights of Sidonia, anyone? I can name Netflix originals, I guess. Knights of Sidonia, Seven Deadly Sins. Is Orange is the New Black? I think Orange is the New Black is a Netflix original. All these original series that Netflix has, YouTube has the same thing, but it's called YouTube Red. So if you think of Game Lab, I think is what it's called. So hey Jar Jar, welcome back. Game Lab, where the game theorist run his channel and he does experiments, things like that for games and stuff. That's a YouTube Red series, which is you can only watch that if you pay for YouTube Red. YouTube is trying to force itself into a market that is, I don't want to say oversaturated, but there's better competitors, and that's why they're failing so bad. They're not doing it as good as their other competitors. There we go. So if they really, really wanted to compete with Netflix and Hulu, they could do it in seconds. Like, let me tell you, seconds, because YouTube has a much larger audience than Hulu, Netflix, anyone on anything. Trust me when I say huge audience. YouTube sees some of the most watch time in pretty much everything, to be completely honest. To compete with Netflix and Hulu would be super easy, because all they would have to do is basically step their foot up and then start fixing things that are wrong with the system to develop more and more loyal people, which isn't hard to do. All you got to do is follow the feedback of all of your content creators, and you would be right there. And start promoting people that need to get promoted, because there are so many small YouTubers out there that don't get the promotion that other people get promoted for. And because of that, their content isn't seen in the light of day, and because their content isn't seen in the light of day, they're squishing a large section of people. And the other thing is there's a lot of backlash for what YouTubers do, and there doesn't need to be a lot of backlash. The PewDiePie thing with the Wall Street Journal, for example, There's no need for that at all. The only reason the Wall Street Journal did it is because print media like that is dying out a lot and really fast. So, of course, the first thing that you want to do is defame the competitor so that you can take viewers from them. So, if you can write a hit piece on PewDiePie, you're already starting to take viewers away from him who are gullible and start to replace them with people who hate him, basically. That's what they're trying to do. It's 4:06. I've got some time. Boop, 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 boop. I accidentally deleted the rendered image by accident. Oops. So I need to put that back in where it goes. This one comes in. So, yeah, hit me up with whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm pretty wide and diverse. I've been through quite a bit of schooling for stuff like this. My final in SPC 1608, speech 1608, is actually an impromptu speech. It was actually my best final. I got the highest grade out of any speech that I did on my impromptu. So I can talk about pretty much anything. There's a couple things that I don't want to talk about because I'm trying to become a more kid-friendly channel. So there's certain topics that I will stray away from. Another reason YouTube wants to become more like Netflix, they want to be more kid-friendly. It makes it easier to advertise to more people if you're kid-friendly. You don't have to really worry about people going out of their way to say hateful, spiteful things like that. It is, in my book, a way to censor people, but at the same time, censorship is necessary because if we didn't have a whole bunch of censorship, we could have a lot of problems. So if YouTube was a completely open and free marketplace for anyone to attend to, there would be a lot of ISIS channels. There is still ISIS channels on YouTube, but it would be more if YouTube didn't come through and try to take down as many as they can. This is one of those moments where you are sacrificing something for something else, which happens quite a bit. Everyone was talking and now we're not. I can wait until someone says something. N16A4. Standard page. Scroll on down. Oops, 54. Bad. Blue. Publish. I wonder if the stream crashed and that's why. Nope, still good. Oh, people left. That's why. Well, no one else is here. Whoop. So if we go home, everything should be updated so we can scroll on down here. So we just added this one. Okay. Everything's looking like it should. We have this one. Which is also looking like it should. Boom. Good. Oh, light machine gun has finally got up there. It has always been between assault rifles and sniper rifles, but now light machine gun is up there. So we'll have to look into seeing if we can do some more light machine guns. Alright, so the last assault rifle that I have not uploaded that has gotten a review of a video is M-Dun's AK build. Which is, yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done for that one. So we're going to start a new page. It's going to be fun. Pt.1 AKM 16 is the name of this. See that? Scrolling up. Down. Pop that right in there. Be that. Delete this on out. Delete. I did a video on the Pt.2. Just gotta be able to find it. Yep. There we go. This is probably one of my longest videos. But it looks really good. That's the best part. The Pt.2 is probably one of my best guns too. If I had to choose between the Pt.2 and the Pt.2 is one of my best guns because there's just so much detail that went into it with so many different techniques and whatnot that it just works really well. That's what I like about the Pt.2. This title needs to be fixed. Oh, wait. Pt.2 AKM 16. Hopefully he doesn't. He should be doing another contest this year. That's gonna be really fun to get into. Or well, to do another contest because yeah, this contest was really fun and it challenged me, and I really wanted to win, so I really threw myself into it, and yeah. All right, so let's Start downloading all of these pictures. I have a lot of rendered images for the Pt.2. And by a lot, I mean a lot. I was really dedicated to getting this gun down really, really well. 3 stud wide magazine in a 4 stud wide area, completely ambidextrous controls for the most part. I think the safety is the only one, or maybe, I don't know. This gun was such a cool looking gun too. It was a nice compact AK weapon. I love AKs already, so seeing something like this was really, really nice. Oh man, I love this thing. I really do. The suppressor was decent. The suppressor wasn't my favorite design. It was really challenging. I tried my best. I think a lot of people tried their best. But yeah. This is also like one of my very first completely field stripping guns. So yeah. I just went through all of them. I downloaded the screenshots that I took and the original without all the rendered images, and those are going to go up first. Well, yeah, those are going to go first. Build, slideshow, continue. Upload photos from computer. These 4 open. These I did so many versions of the Pt.2, it's not even funny. Like I did a huge amount of different versions for the grip. I did a huge amount of versions for the receiver, internals, basically the rail systems, things like that. I did so many different versions. I finally got it right eventually, but is this still 2:16? Stay that way. Don't stop changing. Okay, so that's that. That's that. Yeah, that's going to the right one. Now then, we delete out all the screenshots from that folder just to make it easy. Now we come through and we start downloading all of the rendered images that I have. A lot of memories. I was on vacation when I built this thing. Last family reunion, which is always in July, so basically next month. So it's almost going to be a year since I built this one. July 19th is when I uploaded this to Google Drive. So, like I said, I went through so many different versions of this thing. It was a lot of fun though. Pretty big challenge for the Journal magazine too. I wanted to do it differently than other people. Other people did it better than I did, but I still thought I did pretty good for it. So. Alright, so that's all of those. Let's go ahead and put that towards the top. Continue. Select all of these. Open. Yeah, now we gotta wait for all these super high dense photos to open up into the website because they are all like really, really high quality photos. So conversation was going good and then it died down. Just okay, I guess. It'd be easier for these moments when I'm not doing anything. We're talking about something that if the conversation was still here though. So oops. We can talk about this once more. I love this thing. This thing is fantastic the way that it just fantastic gun overall. I like it so far. This is just kind of cool. The Lego has these technic bars here. These are too long and they kind of curve in. They're made of rubber and they're really cool because you can actually use these for like traction almost. So whenever if I'm doing this with my trigger finger, I know which part's the rubber part. So I can always think that the trigger guard is there, but if I push on the rubber part, you know which part's the rubber part, which part's not. So that's just something that's kind of cool. So can of course HK slap that or not. Just depends on who you are. You do either or. It's pretty cool. I like that. Load it as you see fit. This is just a nice gun overall. I really like what I'm going for. I think it could do better, and I think that building an LDD would be nice so that I can actually come up with design ideas as to how to make it better. So when we get to that section, we get to that section. I think this is actually cool because this is my first time that the rubber band does two things at once. So the rubber band is connected around the trigger, but it's also connected around the magazine release. So if you pull the magazine release, the trigger actually gets a little bit more stiff. If you release the magazine release, this gets a little bit less stiff. If you're pulling the trigger and you press the magazine release, it gets stiff too. This is just a really cool dual design for how to do a single rubber band, but for two functions. That's something that I really like because it saves me space in the long run. So yeah, I really like the idea of what's going on here. I just think it needs to be fixed just a little bit. There's just a couple of different things that could happen that can make it really, really, really cool. So whenever I get around to that, I get around to that. We got 10 out of the 25 images uploaded of the rendered images. So we're waiting on that to finish off, and then we will continue on. So it's just fun to do stuff like that. It just feels really nice in the hands. Anyone who has built something like that before knows exactly what I'm talking about. You can also do it this is the gun that it was designed off of, except there's a few different things to it. This magazine release isn't as long as mine. It's not wide, so I have to come in with my thumb or my finger to do the one-handed mag release. You have to, instead of just pushing forward, like I should be able to, I have to come in and push. There's no shell ejection port on this one, which is kind of weird. I figured they would, but they don't. You can HK slap this one, which is nice. This one has the front grip on it instead of just a flat front. No stock, no sling mount. Back here, G36 rail on top. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time. I like it, to be completely honest. This one's got a 30 round magazine, but in terms of design, what I'm thinking for is if you wanted to conceal this thing inside of your pocket, you would want this magazine to be shorter, up to no further than the grip itself. So they make these cool 15 round magazines, which cuts this in half, and that's usually what people use in the MP5K. They fit kind of like that almost. If you did that and then you made it a coffin quad stack kind of magazine, so if you know what the M4 Spectre is, you know what I'm talking about. The RPK does something like this too with some of its magazines. If you made it kind of like that magazine where it's double stack up here and then they kind of do this angle out at the bottom and they get wider down here, and then it becomes quad stack because there's a double stack over here and there's a double stack over here. That would be really cool because then you could have plenty of ammo capacity, but you're not sacrificing having this really long ass stick mag sticking out. So if you're CIA and you're trying to hide this thing, right? You've got this magazine sticking out past your backside. You don't want that. You want this to be shorter. So shortening the magazine is what you want to do. So if you shorten the magazine, it'll be easier to just kind of draw an out, and then you're good to go. So that's the general design idea. Front grip, I don't think the front grip's essential on MP5Ks. You can kind of hold it by the magwell almost. I've been also thinking about doing like a really compact bullpup version of an MP5K. The problem with this is that where this grip is placed, the back of your hand is actually hitting the mag, and that might actually, believe it or not, cause malfunctions in guns. So you got to be careful with that. But you don't want to hold it your arm out. You don't want to make space on purpose. You want to really tuck it because you really want to tuck it. Your hand naturally comes back and touches the magazine. It also make reloading slightly more difficult. If your hands were thicker and bigger than mine, it'd be more difficult because this back of your hand might be sitting right here. So when you go to put the magazine in, you might keep hitting your hand. I think that would be good in terms of function. Just boom, 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 boom. Have a stock back here, and then just a transfer bar through this area down to the trigger with the standard control back here. Standard magazine release here. So full auto, and then you would kind of choke up on it like this with your hand in the front of this other hand, back here in the back. Charging handle, charging port's going to be over here on this side. You'd be fine like this. Obviously, sighting system. I don't know about sights. Sights would be a problem. You'd probably have to have like a red dot, but it'd be way out here in front. Reload. Put the magazine back in. Power stroke it. Switch over to safe. You're good to go. This side would be a huge problem because your cheek is so close to that shell ejection port. I'm pretty sure it would be not left cannon friendly. The brass would be coming out of a shell ejection port like literally right in front of your face. So I don't think it'd be okay for you to be on that side of it. I have some text up here that says M16A4, but I've changed it twice now to Pt.2, aka M16, and it still hasn't like stayed that way. So that's kind of concerning. I don't know if it's going to continue doing that or not. let's hit publish real quick. Yeah, see, it still says M16A4, and that's a problem. I'll let the gallery go by so that y'all can see all the rendered images. It's pretty fantastic, actually. This is probably one of my most rendered images in terms of guns. It's fantastic. I love it. Some of them are lesser quality. I was experimenting with some of the camera angles and different things like that for the start of it, so bear with me as those scroll by. I made exit out of that. Pt.2 complete version 9. I got up to version 9, but I had to find the right way to label it, so there's all sorts of different ways to just doing stuff too. So, yay. Yeah, we need to open this one up. Downloads. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Okay. All right. Standard procedure at this point. First image. Second image. Third image. Fourth image. Why did I save that as the fourth? Because if I saved that as the fourth, I didn't mean to. I'm gonna flip these sites up real quick. Yeah, I forgot. I accidentally missed the okay, 6. Okay, 7. Okay, 8. Okay, 9. Okay, 10. Okay, 11. Okay, 12. Okay, 13. Okay, 14. Alright, so let's get all of this in where it needs to go. We need a slideshow, continue. I got 3 different slideshows so far. There's quite a bit in terms of slideshows, but I think it's worth it. The Pt.2 is one of those models that I really want to show off because it's such a nice but underlooked design because not everyone knows about it. And you kind of had to make up your own name, and it was in my different username contest. So, yeah. Goes down. Boom. You come in. Now all I need to do is add the captions for this page, and we're good to go. Caption micro futuristic red dot. Boom. Caption suppressor. Caption standard Vanguard. Caption from left to right. 30 round, 50 round, 20 round. Magazines. Vanguard to accept 35 round viewable magazines. And be ejection board. Boom. Grip. Safety. Bag release. Fire selector. Adjustable sock. Picture. So it keeps saying M16A4, but I published the website after I had changed it so that it shouldn't change back, and it still changed back. So I don't know if that's going to stay there or not. We will, yeah, see that stayed there. That's not good. But yeah, here we go. We got everything. So this is the standard rendered image, and then these are, it's like the rendered image gallery. This is the screenshots of the initial version, so you can see a whole bunch of different things with this one. Let's see, this is like when I first started to do the grip. You can see this is the older style grip. Not as much refinement going on. This is the newest one. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why it's going to keep saying M16, so I'm just going to delete that because screw that. Alright, so let's go home. We'll place that in as needed for 2 AKM 16. Won't let me change text anymore. That's not good. Let's hit publish and then refresh the page and see if that works. No! Oh shit. What did I just do? I think I broke it. Yep. I broke it. Should be it. Yep. Good. So I think that is every single assault rifle that I have in the LEGO creation. So that's quite a bit of guns, to be honest. Of course, there is more to be added that I have not done reviews on yet. And by more, I mean a whole bunch. There is, in total, how much do I have selected? Won't tell me how much I have selected. Oh well, I don't know how much in total I have then. So, let's take a look. Sector 25, Victor X, A12. Did I do the M4A12? M4A12. No. H bar, Pt.1, HK417, MP5K, Scar Hammer, Vector, Lynx, M40, SV, UAS, Locust, Vesper, Lista, Swordfish, PP2000, 3, Vector, 40, A3, 200, 5, 2 AKM, we can delete that out. Just did it. Delete this out as well. Car, GBRs and 4. Delete out. Locus, Center 1, M16A4. Did it. Switch to 5. 600 XD. Alright, so that's quite a bit that we just did. So our list is getting shorter and shorter as it goes. M16A4 and then the Pt.2 AKM. Pt.2 AKM 16. So we've done 4 weapons today. It's been like 2 hours. That's as far as we've gotten. But hey, that's a lot farther than we've gotten in the past 2 months now, isn't it? So we can live with it. So yeah. What is next? I think ideally it'd be reorganizing all of the front page. It needs to be reorganized like really, really bad because it's like such a huge mess. But yeah, can I move any of these? this up to the side here. What would that look like? Yeah, there we go. I think we are getting somewhere. That's not what I wanted though. Can we control Z? No, can't control Z. Move this over first. Okay. What about this next? View. Top of this line. Boom. Here we go. It's better. Publish now. Up here. Go home. How do you look? Not bad, to be honest. Not bad. It's good. We can just, these don't need their own things. We're just going to delete these out. They're still going to be available, just they don't need to be there. So there we go. That'll help. That will help just a bit with looking somewhat decently organized. So push that. What is this? Wow, I've gotten. Is this what I think it is? Or hold on. What is this? I don't know. Is this super cool? So apparently, I've had this thing for a while now, sitting on my homepage of my website. Apparently, I did like a fan favorite gun, and I've gotten people who have responded. I had people that responded 4/12 of 2017. Wow, this thing is. Let me go to bathroom and then I'll be back, and then we'll take a look at actually what the fan favorite gun is so far. Is the CUDA on here? Damn, the CUDA's not even on here. Wow! Surprised. Someone even, I noticed this, didn't even answer what their favorite gun was. And 6/13/2016. So tomorrow, like a year ago tomorrow, someone answered with, "Hey, can you make the OTS 14 Groza? Thanks." So let's take a look here. So the Barrett M107, I see a couple of them. Dragunov SVDs. Um, quite diverse. Hmm. Yep. So let's get out of that. I think we've done quite a bit in terms of um, updating the website today. We got 4 guns down. Um, one of which was, or 2 of which was pretty time consuming because they were just big, large files. So we can find something else to do. I still don't want to stop streaming. There's other stuff that needs to be done. There's a whole bunch of stuff that still needs to be uploaded to the website itself. So we can go through, we're going to go through the SMGs folder and we're going to find other things that need to be added for however many we need to add. So we'll open that on up. I don't think I ever finished the Deadeye Defender Vector SMG. Now that I've gotten a lot better with working with Legos, I think I could go through and I could finish it. I'll have to see about that. Because it's a fantastic weapon, to be completely honest. FNH P90, I think there's, I think I already have a P90 on here. Let's go up here. Submachine guns, FNH P90. What do we got? Yeah, we've got the older black one here. This is the older black one. So we already done the older black one. So the P90 Master Edition needs to be done, which just is a little bit different. So we can star this, add star. The H&K MP10 was an older model of mine, I guarantee it. Yeah, old model. Disgusting. Oh my gosh, this thing looks terrible. Ugh. Really, really bad. Four-stud wide rail system. Yeah, this thing. Man, this thing's bad. So that one doesn't need to be added. At the MP5, there's a lot of MP5s that need to be added. I can already tell. I didn't even have an MP5 here at all. Let's see. Do I have the oldest MP5? I don't think I have my oldest MP5 here. MP5 Master Edition. Mark III. Mark III. A2 Swordfish. 5. Mark III. Sword. Yes.
Are you eating dinner with us?
I don't know. What are you having?
These two.
Yes.
You want 2 rolls?
No rolls.
No rolls.
No rolls. I don't have the original. Oh, because it'd be underneath K, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be underneath K. Here it is. Complete version 1. Here we go. Yep. Here's the oldest one. Oh man, this thing is disgusting looking. What was? So did I rebuild the K? Is that what I started basing everything off of? Yeah, I started with the K. That's what I based everything off of. Yep. Okay, so the MP5 needs to get starred. That star. MP5K needs a star. The MP7 I know is on here. Older gun or new guns. So machine guns MP7. But does it have 1? Yeah, it only has the 1 on it so far. So it needs to get the next 2 that I have because I got 2 more. So we need to star this as well. Add star. The UMP45 hasn't been added at all. Add star. The IWI Uzi Pro is here, and the Uzi itself is the old one, so we don't want that. The IWI Uzi does need to be added, so we can add a star. Chris Vector, I know there's more that needs to be added. Cuda from Black Ops 3 definitely needs to be added. The Lynx SMG does not need to be added. That's old. My Mac 10, this is the old one. I have a new one now in the form of the SMG 11, so I don't know if I technically need this one or not. I mean, this isn't a bad design, but it's not the best either. So I don't think we should add this one. I think I'll do fine without that one. Maneba M9. I haven't gone through and I haven't made another Maneba M9, but I don't think I included the Maneba M9. Yeah, I didn't include the Maneba M9. So add star. MPL is there. I haven't gone through and made another MPL. PDW 57. There should be. I only did the one. I only have the one. I don't have the original uploaded. I thought I did the. No, because the original went into Blue Jay Industries, didn't it? Yep, the original went to that one. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Pharaoh Black Ops 3 is not on there. Can add star there. PP19 Boson is on here. I haven't updated it, so PP90 M1 needs to be added. The Ripper should be updated, but it's an assault rifles. So let's. Where's Ripper? Where is? I had to find it. Yep, so the Ripper's been updated the way that it should be. I don't think I've ever built a Scorpion Vector SMG on here. No. Let's take a look at it, see if it's worthy of being added. No. No, it's not. Star Ogpara Mark II should be on here. Yep. You're on there. Star TMP. Are you on here? Yeah, you're on here. Is this the one that I think it is? Yes, it is. Did I complete this? Oh, everything but the grip. Wow, this looks really good too. I should have finished it. Dang. Why didn't I finish this? I have the TF2 Sniper's SMG. Just like sitting here not finished. For some reason. I really don't know why. It looks really good actually. Well, that's weird. I haven't made a new Thompson, so that's my old one. The Vesper, I don't think I've included the Vesper in this one. Yeah, I haven't included Vesper, so Vesper needs to be added. Add star. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-ish guns that need to be added out of the SMGs. Of course, the MP7, there's 2 of them, so that makes 14. The MP5Ks and MP5s, there's a lot. The vectors, I think there's quite a few different vectors that need to come in to the page itself too. So there's quite a bit that needs to happen before that gets done. What is it? I missed something. Oh no, I can't. That's just. Alrighty then. Gotta plug my phone. What am I doing? I don't need that plugged in anymore. I didn't charge it last night because I didn't feel like rolling over out of bed when I went to bed. So I was charging it tonight. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be added still. But we got through 4 of them, and that's nice. So we're going to go blog. We're going to post something. Because I can. Because I need to. Guns of the assault rifles that we added today. KM44. I want this one. Download this. Boom, boom, do post. post. Boom. Done. Let's go hit up Facebook and Twitter so that we can post for the day. It's a social media update day. Yeah. Yeah, see, I can't go on social media because I just get like intertwined in the things. I'm just supposed to be posting like one thing, and I end up being here forever. Website updated. That's why I hate going on social media. I hate the Facebook page for. It's really annoying. All right, there we go. Boom, boom, done, done. Done, done, done. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Publish this just to make sure that's published. And then I'm done for the day. Pretty much. Got some stuff done. That's pretty worth it. For what I thought it was. So, see you guys later in another YouTube video, things like that. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if you would so kindly. Post social media updates there every Wednesday or every Monday, Friday. If I remember, sometimes I forget. I posted today because I remembered, thank the Lord. Follow me on my website, bluesandthemaestro.weebly.com. That's what we did today. This is the home page. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see all the guns that are here. So you can check out different things that you need to check out. I try to update it every once in a while, and when I do update it, I try to do it in like really, really large batches. So today we got through 4, 2 of which are pretty involved, 2 of which were pretty simple, but we got through quite a bit. And I did do quite a bit of talking to entertain some of you, so y'all got to hear some pretty good opinions on different games and whatnot. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the bell notification so that you are notified when I live stream. I try to live stream twice a week at this point. The schedule says Wednesday and Sunday, but those are busy days for the most part. I have some pretty busy days. So I try to stream at least just twice a week at this point, whenever I can. So today will be the first stream of the week, and then some other time this week there will be a second stream or whatnot. So we'll see how things go. See you guys later in another YouTube video some other time in some other place. See ya.